What's up, guys? This is Roughneck Actual, and you have reached the Roughnecks Ecom channel. If you want to learn how to make money online or offline, then you need to be right here. I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller. I'm also an honorably discharged Air Force veteran. Graduated from Penn State and started a career as a software engineer and leveraged that to build my businesses. If you guys have any questions on how to make money, you're going to find all your answers right here, so stay tuned. Yo guys, so as you see, we're going to be talking about dropshipping on Amazon. Is it still viable? Can you still do it? And how does it work? So before we even get into all that, let's just answer the question right away. Yes, you can still dropship on Amazon, but no, you can't do it the way that people traditionally would do it. It no longer goes from supplier to the customer because you're going to get suspended right off the rip. And anybody who says that you're not is lying to you, and it's just, they don't know what in the hell they're talking about. They never really sold on Amazon. They hired some team over in Bangladesh to run their automation service, and you guys end up getting suspended, and they do not care. All right, they're going to disappear overnight. It happened. All right, so if you guys remember a few years ago, in the automation space, they had what was called the Great Purge. All right, so this was bad. Right, so the Great Purge of Amazon automation, and this is for people that were doing drop shipping primarily. You know, there were services out there that had 600-700 clients, and like 90-something% of them got suspended within a matter of, what, 2 months, 3 months, and then they went and jumped on Walmart and were drop shipping on Walmart, and guess what happened there? They all got suspended there too. All right, so that was kind of fun. And that was a Walmart purge because Walmart wasn't having that shit. They were like, oh, Amazon ain't allowing it. Walmart, no, we're not gonna do it either. So how does it work now? Well, it's pretty much a two-step process, okay? It's no longer just going from supplier to customer. There's a lot of touch points in between, and the way that we do it is pretty specific to us. Being a software engineer, I got to sit down and look at a lot of the things that were happening with the suppliers as far as canceled orders and, returns, refunds, all this stuff. So we figured out that, we have to use a series of VPSs. So, we have to set up VPSs. I have to monitor things behind the scenes. We need residential static IPs that are fixated, that never change. So you have to do that. You kind of have to spoof MAC addresses and a few other things in order to get it to work, just for supplier's sake. That is not on the side of the actual product shipping. And oh God, it's a doozy to get all that stuff done. So now the clients have to actually partake in it, participate. So the clients that we have in our automation service, and whether you're in an automation service or not, just know that you're going to have to be the one to participate or have a 3PL, kind of like we have our warehouse out in New Jersey, to do a lot of the fulfillment. Shipping labels have to come from certain places and be done a certain way, or else it does not work. All right, like there's a lot of things that have changed in order to make drop shipping safer on Amazon, and we're going to go over some of the accounts that we have and how much money they're making and what you guys can expect as far as drop shipping moving forward on the Amazon platform. So I'll put together a little screen share for you so I can show you the good, bad, and ugly, because you guys know, like, it's not always sweet on that platform. All right, so let's go ahead, let's take a look. Can you still drop ship on Amazon? This has been a topic of contention for years now. All right, so back in the good old days, and I'm dating myself at this point, you could drop ship on Amazon and not give a single damn about how things went. You were able to just sell all the things, blow accounts up to $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a month, and nothing would happen. But over the course of the last, I'd say 4 or 5 years, Amazon wised up and started cracking down. And we had what was called the Great Purge about 3-4 years ago. I remember talking to some of my friends in the automation space. Even though we're competitors, we're still friends. And it was bad. Accounts were getting whacked right and left. It was just downhill. And at this point, I started looking into different methods. I'm like, okay, we have a 2-step method. We built a warehouse out in Jersey to kind of facilitate that. For a while, that worked too. But now that does not necessarily work as well. Now we're at this whole fulfillment by merchant method, which the clients that I have to participate. The warehouse team has to participate. It's a lot of freaking work. It's no longer hands off. So if you plan on drop shipping on Amazon, you're not going to be able to do that anymore, at least not hands off. It is no longer drop shipping in a traditional sense. It is now get your dirty little hands, in the mud and start moving some stuff. So let's talk about some of the things, how it does work. So you guys see here, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. Nothing has been sold just yet, but
we're looking pretty good here. So for the last 30 days, we've done $17,000 with this account. Now we've had to be a little bit more mindful because he does not have an unlimited amount of capital. So we've had to kind of turn listings off and on and all this stuff. It requires a lot more mental capacity from everyone involved. And if you do not have the capital, guys, like do not get involved. Like I do not recommend jumping on this bandwagon. Especially during Q4, because you could do this during Q4. There's no longer a whole seasoning period. You can actually get this spun up because you're doing the fulfillment yourself or having like a 3PL do it or whatever, and you're good. So there's a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes that makes this work, but just know that you can do it during Q4. You know, and I know you guys are gonna say, oh, well, what about all the reviews and stuff? What about all the reviews? Like, dropshipping is notorious for having terrible reviews. You guys can see here, this IPI score is pretty decent at 589, and it's only going up. Why is that? Because it's no longer just about, you know, the whole dropshipping thing. All right, so let's go take a look at these metrics. Feedback manager. So we got 4.6 stars, guys. 4.6 stars. So this is something that we've been doing on this account for a few months now. You know, he came over from another service and was like, yo guys, like I really need your help. Like, is there anything that you could do for me? And here we are, you know, and he's doing pretty well. His margins are right around 11%. So he's done almost $1,800 in the last 30 days as far as net profit, all while maintaining a 4.6 star rating. Will this go up and down over the next, you know, I'd say 3 months during Q4? Absolutely. It's bound to happen. This isn't going to be 4.6 stars forever. It'll probably drop somewhere around 4.2 or so overall as we get more reviews and more sales. So as you guys can see here, you know, things are good. Even these little ones right here, guess what? These were done. This was not due to the seller, not due to us. All right. We're good. See all this right here? I mean, these are pretty good ratings, 5 and 4 stars. This is kind of where you're going to sit using this method. I do not recommend this for everyone, okay? I just do not, because it is a lot of work, and I'm gonna show you guys a store that actually ballooned out of control, and there was almost nothing that we could do about it other than just ride it out. I mean, dude told us at the last minute that his Amex had ran out of spend, and we had to essentially turn the store off. But he made a good bit of money this year so far, and you know, we're debating on whether we're gonna reactivate that store, take it off vacation mode, or are we gonna leave it as is? So let's talk about that right now. Let's go ahead and you know, kind of break that down and see what we're gonna do, so I can show you guys a store that just kind of went ham. Actually, let's show you this store right here, because I know you guys are gonna say, oh, well, what about, you know, for the year? I'm like, guys, we just started doing this on this account, but whatever. Let's go ahead and reports, business reports. Boom. Let's talk about this. So let's go year to date. Look, been at it for a little bit, guys. Like, you know, we really just started. We took over control right around here. And then, you know, his last service, he was not very happy. Let's put it that way. He was not a very happy camper. And then we came up here and, you know, we're doing pretty well. So I think this month, you know, so far is going to be, you know, pretty decent. You know, we'll probably get close to right around here, if not a little bit better, considering Q4 is in act. And it is, you know, underway. And I'd say around November, December timeframe, probably be, you know, pretty nice. But so far, you know, we've done pretty decent, you know, taking over control of the store, getting it to where it needs to be, and then creating all these listings and then going. Now, usual guys, like, we're not doing any of this. Like, we don't do the whole, you know, $100 items. It's stupid. I hate when people, you know, when other automation services will put tons and tons and tons of high dollar, you know, items in their client stores, because what happens is this whole like, oh, I think I spent too much money on this item. Is it worth it? They'll return it, and it's a hassle to do returns at this level with these types of items, especially if you're selling TVs, electronic stuff like that. Like, there's just too many things that can go wrong. But now let's go ahead. Let's show you a store that that ballooned out of control, and how it can happen, and you might want to avoid some of that, right? So here's a store that we had to actually shut down, right? So he can't sell. Like, like, well, not that he can't sell, it's just that Amex issue is a big issue, right? You can see this is a pretty big balance right here. His IPI score isn't near as good, because as it scaled out of control, getting these orders out was a pain in the patootie. All right, and due to that, because of all this good jazz, let's check his performance. Look, I'll show you guys the good, bad, the ugly, all that shit, right? It's not just all, you know, peaches and gravy, as they said in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the film, not the the comic. Let's see. The feedback manager. Yep, see him. So his store, not as good. Not as good. You know, he's at 3.7 stars. You know, obviously this right here, I mean, we got these knocked out. You know, seller offered a refund, but you guys can see here, you know, the low ratings, we generally get knocked off because a lot of this stuff is, you know, not our problem. It's not our fault. Like this, kind of our fault, but the other stuff, not our fault. So, I mean, all things considered, it's pretty decent, right? It's pretty decent, 3.7. Like, you know, once we turn the store back on and get back to moving and shaking, things will be fine. But right now, like, we just can't. You just can't, guys. Like, it's bad, all right? Well, I can't say it's bad, but it's, you know, I mean, when you have a store that ballooned out of control, you're about to see what happened and why drop shipping still works, but can put you in a worse situation than wholesale FBA can. Because with wholesale FBA, you know exactly how much money you're fucking spending, right? You're like, oh, I'm spending $10,000 in inventory, done, right? This isn't the same. This isn't, I'm gonna spend $10,000 in inventory. This is like, all right, you know, I need to, you know, be mindful because the store is scaling out of control. So, you know, not the same day last year, you know, it's $5.67. You know, year to date, guys, like this, and this is where things get kind of wonky. So almost $800,000, and we haven't ran this store since August. All right, and, you know, more than likely it'll come. We might turn it back on beginning of November. Depends on how he feels. So he's already made over $80,000, like in just straight net profit. And he's kind of like, you know, I'm good. You know, do I really need to do this? You know, for the rest of the year, maybe he'll wait. So we're just working with him because he's the one that dictates, you know, are we going to turn this store back on? But as you guys can see, we took this store over, and this right here is what happened. So in the beginning, you know, not bad, right? So we're like, okay, he did $21,000 that first month because he asked us to scale his account as fast as we could. And I'm like, bro, like, you sure? He's like, yeah, scale it. I'll even pay extra. I'm like, well, when you say you pay an extra, my guy, all right. So, you know, we got here. So boom, $21,000. Next month, $28,000. You know, the next month, $54,000. Next month, $80,000. Next month after that, like $80,000. And then boom, went up to $200,000. Boom, $320,000, almost $320,000. This right here was where shit hit the fan. Right, this right here, like y'all don't see this part. This shit right here went bananas. Okay, that month he's like, oh, things are good, and then towards the end of it, he's like, oh shit, I'm running out of money. I'm running out of money. Okay, and you know, having an Amex really does help. Having a platinum Amex with almost no limit is really nice. But when this type of shit happens, you know, it's hard to control because Amex is not the company where it's like, oh, we want your minimum payments each month. They're like, yo, we want our fucking money. We want our fucking money. Give us our money. So he had to burn through some of his savings to help cover that because Amazon pays out every 2 weeks, right? And there's a rolling 7-day window. So it's not just 2 weeks. It's that 7-day window where Amazon, they hold money in your account reserve for 7 days after the latest shipment date. So if your latest shipment date is on the 10th, they will hold that money until the 17th and then move it into your balance. So let's say your payment date was the 13th. You still got money sitting until the next pay cycle. So it just made for like a perfect fucking storm. But as you guys see, like, can you still drop ship? Absolutely, but it's no longer drop shipping. And let's look at how many units went out, guys. Like total items. Like, this shit is wild. All right, these are total orders, and then these are the units. Imagine our warehouse and yo ass having to do some of this work. It's a lot, ain't it? It's a lot. But, you know, my man made $80,000. So it's like, you know, like $83,000, $84,000, something like that. So it's like, you know, I mean, he gave himself a job essentially. But, I mean, hey, so how do you want to play it? So good, bad, and ugly, this is it. So it's really up to you guys on if you want to continue this drop shipping thing. You can't drop ship the old way. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You can tell them I said they can go suck it. So if anybody, any automation service is like, oh, we can drop ship, no problem, and be hands off, you're bound to get suspended. You will get suspended. All right? You can mark my words on that shit. I give you 3, maybe 6 months tops. Maybe tops before Amazon comes in, turns your store off with a Thanos snap. And then that's just it. So this is the only way that it works now that I have found it works. Maybe there is another way that works. But for right now, I don't think so. I mean, because let's just be honest, most of the dudes running services, these motherfuckers ain't software engineers. These boys barely even graduated high school. They just had mommy and daddy money and then were able to turn into something else. So just know, like, this is how this shit works. And if you don't believe me, I'll put up any one of our stores against, another automation services that's doing 100% drop shipping. That's drop shipping directly from supplier to customer, and see how long that shit lasts. I don't think very long, but that's just me. So yes, again, you can drop ship on Amazon, but not in the traditional sense. And if you do, you're gonna end up getting boned. All right, you're gonna get boned. So you have to do it this way. So you need, Jesus Christ, you need all types of VPSs. You're gonna need, essentially you're gonna need a warehouse or a ton of fucking time. Let's see what else you're gonna need. Oh, you're gonna need the suppliers that we use, because you can't use all the traditional ones anymore. You gotta sprinkle in something else. You gotta use all types of Amazon shipping. You gotta use shipping from, like FedEx and UPS. Like, there's all types of shit that you have to do to make this work. It's no longer just like, oh yeah, set it and forget it type shit. Like, there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes, and this is the only way that I found that it works. And as you guys see here, it works very well until it fucking doesn't, until you run out of money. So that being said, man, y'all be safe. Go ahead, go make some money on Amazon, because you can. I don't know why people keep saying you can't make money on Amazon. Tell those naysayers that they can suck a whole bag of wieners. Click the link below in the description, if you guys want to schedule a call, talk to the team, all that stuff. I'm just here to help y'all out. I mean, if y'all don't buy nothing from me, that's cool. Just make sure that you guys understand that the shit don't work the way that it used to. All right, catch y'all on the next one.